what does body positivity mean? How does that affect maybe even America as a health good thing, or is it a bad thing? Like how do you view that?
I don't think it's bad. I'll just say that. I'm not going to say it's a negative thing. Do I think it's a positive thing? I think it has positive aspects for sure. Because I think the idea too is like people who are like fit or maybe like average even at best who have gotten there through fitness, their argument is like, well, anyone can do it if I can do it, which is not true. Just because you can do it doesn't mean anyone else can do it. That's not true all the time. I mean, you like have examples of people who might have certain disabilities, or you might have examples of people who literally are like depressed or have anxiety or something.
At the very least,
like
it's
that.
not as easy as you.
It's not. It's achievable and easy, and I think it's really selfish. And actually, I think it's narcissistic to say that just because I did it means that you can do it too.
Mhm.
Like I think that's narcissistic. Because I'm like, well, you're only thinking about yourself. You're not even considering the other person and the way they might feel or go towards it. So overall, I think like it doesn't affect me in a negative way. So it doesn't bother me. And I definitely don't think it's a negative thing. And welcome back to the Gain EXP podcast. I'm your host today, not this guy.
Okay.
Doggo
Right,
EXP. And you
Jordan. Just call me Jordan.
We got Jordan over here. George or EXP in the house. You know what I'm talking about. What?
I gotta get used to actually calling myself Georgia at some point.
Dude, some people in real life are gonna call you that, and you're gonna be like, "What are you even like calling me that for?"
Yeah, I know.
My name is Jordan.
I know.
But anyways, today we're gonna be doing a offshoot episode, I'll call it, because we're gonna be talking about something we don't usually go down the road of with this new revamped podcast, which is gonna be about health and fitness for today.
I think it's like a
callback. Actually,
it's a bit of callback. It's also like I think it was so for the people who don't know, me and Riley were both former fitness trainers and nutritionists. We have our licensing. We had a business. That's what the Gain EXP Fitness was, and we would make fitness
like material
programs, stuff.
Yeah,
programs
stuff like
all based off of anime and video game characters. I haven't done that in a while, but it was
that used to be our old intro.
That was our intro, yeah. But we kind of went out of it for a little quite a bit ago. We might revisit it again. But because of that, I saw a show on Netflix. And I was like, oh, Riley, we need to talk about this.
It's funny because the show he's talking about is called Fit for TV. It's like reaction to The Biggest Loser, that show that was from like the 90s or the 2000s.
Yeah, I think so.
And so today we actually want to talk about it because we've talked about it actually, I think, on a podcast episode before at one
Biggest Loser, yeah.
And this is before everyone was talking about it. And we were like, oh my God, like that show is so horrible because we used to watch like clips on YouTube or whatever. We would react to it and they'd be doing like the most crazy like fitness related activities for people of like big sizes.
Dude,
and it was just like kind of cringe to watch, but we also knew that it was really bad. But the fact that these thoughts were validated by the show and we both watched it and confirmed those like suspicions, it's actually kind of crazy. They almost predicted that shit, or you did, really. So
so there's a couple things about that show that surprised me. I think for the most part we watched it and we kind of weren't really shocked by like the negativity in it, right? Like there's a lot of negative aspects of The Biggest Loser. What I was shocked about was one, how bad it got for some things.
Or for people,
and in general, like what happened later. I'm not sure you remember in episode 3, they were talking about the metabolic rate thing.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that was like horrible. Actually, they like killed their metabolic rate.
And then the second part is that I'm also surprised how many people genuinely think it was a great thing.
Wait, there were people who thought it was good?
Yeah, no, remember there was a couple. There was a woman.
Oh, you mean in the show? I thought you meant outside the show. Like people were like,
no, they're outside the show too.
Really?
Yeah,
because I remember in the show the trainers were like, "No, we had to do that shit," and I was like, Well,
I don't know. Like they had one of the two trainers.
I don't know about that.
Oh my God, one of the I think that woman is the.
She like refused to be on it and stuff, and she even said that that part where they're talking about the caffeine pill, she blamed it on the doctor and said the doctor was actually the one who got them to take it.
I think the most bitch thing is the other guy, the other trainer,
the male trainer.
He got a heart attack and she didn't like.
Oh, and you even reach out to him or anything? Yeah,
I'm like, that's so fucked.
Crazy. That is a little bit crazy.
Okay, we're talking really into this. If you haven't seen the documentary, honestly, it's a good documentary. You should watch it. It's a very introspective thing about American relationship with fitness and health
Yeah.
and obesity, right?
Well, I actually had just to get us started today, I actually had thought of a question. It's kind of baseline expectations and it kind of gets us kind of going on the show.
Yeah.
And for those that are watching, and hopefully it does as well. So after you've watched the entire show, the first 3 episodes, the only 3 episodes. So did you think that show was the show The Biggest Loser, not the documentary on it, but the show The Biggest Loser? Do you think it was more about health and actually trying to get these people to be healthy? Like per like the founder of that show, or do you think it was more about the entertainment aspect and that was strictly it, or do you think there was an in between?
I feel like as it went on, it became more about the entertainment aspect about it. Maybe, I mean, I think it's okay. It's TV, right? Anytime you do anything for TV, charity or otherwise, it has to be for entertainment. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I don't think that's necessarily bad. There's good things that come out of stuff that has to be entertaining. Like you do a charity thing, like great, save the tree, save the dog, save the planet, whatever, right? Like it's a great thing, but at the same time, it's like you got to make it entertaining. And that balance between how entertaining it is to that charity good aspect is where it becomes that gray line. I honestly think maybe the first season where they were talking about getting it started, people were starting like losing 4 or 5 pounds a week, and like that was like a big thing. People are proud. It's like that's a good thing, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of because I remember watching it when I was a kid, but I don't remember it being a big deal. Like I just remember seeing it on TV, but I didn't think it was like the way they portray it in the show is like, oh, it took over America, and I'm sure it did, and like this is what everyone is talking about, which I'm sure it did. But when I was a kid, that's not my perception of it. My perception was just like, I remember watching it once or twice or something because my family really didn't watch TV like that.
Yeah.
And like that was kind of it. And the reason we were probably watching it is because it blew up and all this stuff. Like they were on like reality TV shows, some of the winners and all this stuff was going on. But yeah, I mean, like I think, yeah, just because they had the founder or the guy who thought of the idea on there, like the whole time he was basically like, no, like my intentions have always been good with this, and I actually do believe him. But I agree. I think at some point it either started becoming more about the money and like the celebrity aspects of the show versus like actually being healthy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't know, man. I think anytime you make reality TV, there has to be a certain amount of drama, right?
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, but for me, I know what the trainers are saying, like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, right? Like if you studied training, fitness training. This is what the doctor said too. He said it in person on the thing. Like, let's just flat out get this out of the way. This is advice for anyone who's trying to lose weight. Now, admittedly, we did say we're both former fitness trainers. Like, I don't look exactly like I was when I was a fitness trainer, but at the same time, like I gained weight back because I wasn't trying to focus that much anymore. And right now, I'm trying to lose back my weight. I'm down 10 pounds right now, which is great. That's a good thing. But in that show, 10 pounds was seen as what you should be doing in a week. That's
actually kind of insane. That's kind of insane. How many calories is it? I think it's like 3,000 calories is equal to a pound of fat or something like that. So you have to burn up to like 3K calories just to lose 1 pound of fat.
It's insanity to do that. Just so, okay. Max, if you're in the obese side of things, when you're losing weight per week, once you first start, you're going to lose a lot. Sure, maybe that first week you may lose 10 pounds because of you doing something you're not used to doing. You're more active, you're eating healthier. It's a rare occasion, mind you. But normally speaking, if you're on the larger side, maybe 5 pounds. If you're as you go down, for me, it was roughly about 2 to 3 pounds a week. And then once you get down to closer to where you hit your goals, it's going to be around 0.5 to 1.5 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there were any things that related to you specifically about the show. I mean, we've never been like 300 pounds or whatever, but just maybe some of the health aspects. But one thing that I did notice is that one of the main characters, he talks about how like, oh, at the beginning I could lose like 15 pounds a week.
Yeah.
And then it started slowing down. I could only lose 4. And then I remember like watching the snippet they show where he only loses 4 pounds and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you only lose 4 pounds. Like you suck. Like their impressions were like, oh, you suck so bad. Like you're losing us this game, like all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, losing 4 pounds is pretty freaking awesome.
No, that is amazing.
But like they make it seem like 4 pounds is like nothing, and then it's like the perception of like what is achievable versus what is like not. It almost seems becoming like disconnected.
And it shocks me. I think it's such a bad thing that the trainers like think it's good. Like it's not.
Oh, you mean good that they can be so mean and achieve these goals? Or
okay,
what?
yeah, we'll talk about the mean aspect, the psychology aspect later. Because holy shit, I nearly tore one. But like I was like thinking like, okay, the doctor is probably the most reasonable person on there.
Actually, yeah, I did kind of like. I mean, he was playing kind of like that. Like I didn't know any better at the time.
I don't think he didn't know better, but what he was saying is not wrong. All the information he said on that documentary isn't wrong. You can look that up. It's true.
Right.
But it's just like but you also know that fact as well as a fitness trainer. Any fitness trainer in America, hopefully, or in the world can tell you that losing more than 5 pounds let's go up like 6 pounds a week consistently nonstop isn't exactly great.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, like the thing though too was like I kind of want to talk about what you said earlier, like how you lose a lot of weight really fast and then you like slow down, and he talked about that in the show. I mean, that's like a real thing. Like you want, like your body will like recognize if you're trying to lose weight at the beginning. It'll like rapidly like start shredding pounds. Like even like, let's say like a 200-pound person or something, somewhere around our weight, like 150 to 200, let's call it. Like if we started today, we could probably lose weight really like significant weight in a decent amount of time. And it's not going to all be fat either. It's going to be like some muscle, water weight. Yeah. There's going to be muscle weight that's lost, and muscle weighs more than fat. So like even these guys like didn't really have a lot of muscle, but like for a normal person who wants to do something like that, they'd probably lose muscle like a lot in the process.
Yeah.
But that was something I kind of related to. I was like, because I know when I was at my lowest body fat percentage, I struggled super hard even losing a pound.
Oh yeah.
Of weight. But like at the beginning, I was losing like a pound a week maybe or something like that, which is actually pretty good. So I was like, oh, a pound a week, like 20 weeks, I'll lose 20 pounds. But realistically, what happens is the 18th week, you're not losing a pound anymore. You're not even losing any weight. It's like it becomes almost like impossible to lose weight at a certain point.
There's also another thing that like on the note, we kept talking about pounds, but like at the same time, it's not always about pounds. It's about your body fat percentage. So we'll give a quick range for people who don't know like what's a healthy body fat percentage, because people are going to be like, oh, under 10%. No.
Or even under 15%. I don't know. Well, under 10 is really bad, but I think between 15 and 10, that's where you're like,
that's like
you don't need to go any further.
Like I think it was like under 15 you're good. Under around the 20%, maybe 22%, depending on your size and build.
Yep.
Like that's like your average. That's like you're not super fit, but you're not obese. You're not fat. That's like your normal-ish range is about 20 to about 18, I think. Yep. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going by numbers. Olympic athletes, and bodybuilders really should be the only people that go under 10%.
Yeah. And like, honestly, if you even look, like the strongest people aren't the people that have the lowest body fat percentage. Like the strongest people are like those insane, like super big dudes who are doing like deadlifts and lifting like shit. Barrels and cars and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they are not anywhere close to 10% body fat.
No,
they're usually not. Like upwards of 20% or more, because they've like really built a shit ton of muscle. Sorry, shouldn't curse as much, but build up a ton of muscle, and that's just what they focus
fuck that,
on.
I'm cursing. Anyways, but
well, I don't know what we're gonna clip later or
it's
not,
fine.
but anyways, body fat percentage is like a good indicator of like a goal, but it's not a good indicator of specific health measures.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I think like you can look at it if it's like below 30 or above 30, below 20, above 20. But once you get down below 15, it's like, okay, now at this point, it's just an indicator of like,
you're just fit.
Am I gonna get a 6-pack or not? Essentially.
And that's another thing too, is like, we should caveat this for women out there. Your body fat percentage is going to be naturally higher.
Oh yeah,
just naturally speaking. That's just, and also it depends on your.
We're talking for men. This is the men's numbers right
men's
now.
numbers for women's is going to be naturally higher due to biology. It's going to be breast and bust size and everything, like that's just going to be natural. But in terms of, but like the thing is that also is not always indicative of pounds. Sure, let's say you start at a 40% body fat percentage and you're trying to work your way down. As you could still be gaining or like be around a 10-pound weight thing and still lose 10% body fat because how much muscle weighs. Muscle weighs like what was like 8 times the much of like fat or some shit like that. I don't exactly remember the numbers, but muscle weighs a lot more than fat. And naturally, when you're starting to work out and you're doing lifting, like not just like cardio, like lifting, and even cardio too, you're gonna build leg muscles.
Right.
That's gonna weigh more. And sometimes in the beginning when you work out, people are gonna be scared and be like, oh, this is not for me. You might actually gain weight first for the first 2 weeks because you're actually building muscle.
Okay. I want to bring it back to the show, and one aspect of the show that we kind of alluded to, but I think we should discuss a little more is about the actual fitness trainers, and like their practices to motivate people to work out. Like you would see these clips of them actually saying or discussing like how they would get them to want to like throw up or something like of that nature. That was like kind of the most extreme, was like we wanted them to throw up because we wanted them to work really hard and all this stuff. So I guess personally, how did that make you feel? Like, do you feel like that's something that if you had them as your trainers, do you feel like they would be motivating?
Oh, bitch the fuck slap out of them. Like, it's just...
Okay, let's say you couldn't beat the shit out of them. Do you think that would be motivating to work out too?
No, I don't think so. Look, I can get behind the coach mentality of being like, let's fucking go, push another one, let's get another one out, like, you could fucking do it.
Or like if you're on the 9th rep and they're
like
just push one
more. Yeah, like even as far as like, hey, don't be a fucking bitch, you got, like, but at the end of the day, those are motivational things, right? And the I forgot Jess Michaels, whatever her name is, I don't even like her, she does like some crazy shit nowadays, but she was just straight up insulting people. Like that's just like there's no bounds to that. She just straight up insults people, and she's like, she hugs them afterwards. Like, yeah, I said that because I know you can do it. It's like, no, you were saying that so you can get a view or like you can get a clip,
Yeah, I don't know if it was because they were trying to make her look bad, but of the two trainers, I think his name was Bob, the guy. He seemed, or maybe it was Joe, some generic name like that. He seemed better in his not that what he was doing was great, but he seemed better than the way she was acting, because she was almost like there was zero sympathy at all. But at least for him, they would show some clips of it being like if they collapsed or some shit, they actually gave a fuck and they were like, oh my god, like this person's like actually dying right now, like on the beach and stuff. But for her, she had like zero sympathy. It almost seemed like literally it was all for camera time and for money.
Would you be able to, if your trainer was kind of like was just like insulting you, what would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do? Would you fire them immediately?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't hire them again for sure. Yeah. In the way they were doing it, I definitely would not hire them. If it was like a funny insult and it was like every once in a while, I think that I could be funny. Like,
yeah.
But like with them, I don't think I could do it. And like, I think the fact that their morals were like, we want to make them throw up. I'm like, bro, that's the most unhealthy shit I've ever heard. That's crazy.
I think another thing that was very indicative was that they were saying like, they're introducing and like they were like telling people to, and this is getting on to later, which I think we should talk about, is the metabolic rate.
Oh yeah,
like thing.
Okay.
Is that so? They were saying like, oh, you should only eat 800 calories, 1,000 calories.
Oh, yo, that was insane. Actually,
I was like, dude, 800 calories is one fucking meal. Like it's literally less than a meal sometimes. Like that is. It's a very small amount if you really look at caloric actual limits and shit like that. Like
you basically could have one like normal size. Well, a normal size meal is like 500 calories. That's called. So you could have like one normal size meal ish, and then you could have like a small snack or something, and that was basically it.
Fucking scoop of peanut butter,
or one big meal or something, like one big ish meal, medium to big, like a normal size American size meal. So, yeah. It's
just that I just,
it's like not a lot of food.
It's not a lot of food, and that goes into how these people lost their metabolic rate. Like that's the saddest thing ever,
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a segue into this, but another thing I want to talk about was, at the beginning where they show him winning, like the main guy who's talking, the guy who gained all his weight back. That actually was really interesting to me, and I don't think it was a shocking thing, because like I know that good habits and good practices build weight loss. It's less about like just
Yeah.
losing a lot fast. But the fact that he gained all his weight back, and a lot of the contestants, like they looked kind of like okay, but him specifically, he was like very big again.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know like what you thought about that idea of like I was once really fat or big, in his words. I dropped down and I was very like slim, and now I'm like super big again. Like how would that make you feel if you were in that position? And like what did you think about his thoughts on that and everything?
I think I could relate because while I'm not at the same level, I'm basically at that point. When we were living together, we were fitness trainers. Part of the reason why we did that was because we both cut like a massive amount of weight and gained muscle. Like I was originally like 215,
Okay.
like before, like way back, lost about 40 pounds. At my best, I was at 174. That
Oh
was
wow.
that was
That's
at my
pretty
best
good.
when we went to Coachella. Like that was like when we were doing that really fitness challenge. Whatever.
Yep.
What we had this weird thing where we're gonna look sexy at Coachella.
Yeah, we lived together and we were both going to Coachella, so we were like, dude, we gotta get super
We gotta get
fucking
so, and
swole.
that was like the first time in my life I had like just straight like abs. It wasn't a six pack, which we'll get into like six packs.
You had you had the top two,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is pretty admirable because I didn't have any. Like
Yeah.
yours, yeah, sorry. No homo, but your abs look good, bro.
Thank you. But it was like that's the fittest I've been, and I obviously like, and this is natural. It happens, and you kind of have to mentally accept it. Is that like we were doing that consistently, and we were eating healthy consistently. We were living together, trying to push each other to be good about that. Like we weren't like pushing each other to the point where like we had to maintain that once. It's really hard for me to maintain 174. I think at that time my natural was around 185 to 180.
Uh-huh.
And I was like staying around that point. When we moved when we moved out, I ended up going to travel the world. I
Yeah,
went
you
to
went
go
to like
traveling.
Hong Kong and stuff.
Yeah, and then I got back and I was living with my family. Didn't really have a gym thing, and shit like that happens, man. And like I gained a good amount of weight back from that, but at the same time, when I was at my like 185 to 175 limit was around 2 to 3 years.
Mm.
So I did maintain it. I gained it back because of a difference in lifestyle, and that's the thing is that it's a lifestyle, And these people, I feel bad for them, is because they didn't. The trainers didn't build a lifestyle. They just forced them to lose weight,
Yeah,
right?
agreed. And I actually kind of wanted to ask you a question about that. I'm not trying to target you either when I ask this question, but do you ever feel like a level of guilt because you started at like 215, let's call it, and you
Yeah.
dropped down to like 175 to 40 pounds?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ever feel like do you personally feel like guilty about gaining any weight back, or are you okay with that?
I think a little bit, I guess. I think a little bit because objectively, like, I could objectively say I was traveling the world. I didn't really have a gym to go to that much. And I obviously, if you know me, I care about food and I love studying food. And so my thing was like, if I'm in other places around the world, I'm going to try their food, I'm going to try their drinks, and I'm going to enjoy the lifestyle with them. And that was a 6 month to a year span. And obviously it's going to affect my health. I was surprised how much it did affect me.
Mm.
I will say I do feel a little bit like internally guilty, and I had to work through that. But I think the one thing that is helpful was that what these people didn't have is that I also know internally in my head I lost this weight and I was able to maintain the loss of weight.
Mm.
So that means I could do it again.
Mm.
So, but that second part is where I feel like the show really made people struggle with,
Mm.
was that second part, right? Because they didn't tell them how to maintain it.
Yeah.
They just lost the weight.
Yeah. And so for someone that's not on a show where it's all about weight loss, like I feel like I know you well enough now where I've seen kind of what motivates you to lose weight. And I feel like some of those things might be like there's an event or some like thing coming up, or like there's some like objective in mind.
Mhm.
Like am I like being accurate? Is that usually how you like will motivate yourself to like be losing weight? Because not everybody will have,
Yeah.
like, some people might be starting like not even like anywhere, and I guess I'm just curious about you, like how
Mhm.
you motivate yourself to do that. So
We're coming up on time, but I'll answer this pretty quickly. I
Yep.
think for me, because I also want to hear your answer. We'll get into that, and after this is that yes, to a certain extent, But that's less of a date for a specific thing. But for me, it's like a deadline.
I see.
Like it's a healthy deadline. Like but I like putting a deadline on something we're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like for me, it's like it was Coachella. It was like a wedding. It was like an event, or I'm going to Hong Kong or whatever. Right. Like
Right.
it was a deadline, and because that's a hard deadline of something to do. Like obviously, you could set a deadline without having an event, and I think that's an important aspect of it. But I also have to caveat that for anyone who's trying to lose weight or even gain weight, right? That because of that, but that it shouldn't be an end all be all,
Yeah. I
right?
agree.
Like
Yeah.
that shouldn't be unless you're an athlete and like that's like a big fight day or some shit, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be an end all be all. But it's good for your goals to have an end date.
Yeah, sorry. I know we should be talking about the show, but I'm like, when you say these things, I actually am curious about how you do these things because I don't think
Yeah.
we've talked about this before. So I just want to know.
No,
So,
of
yeah.
course. We gotta take a break. But
Okay, cool.
so now we're back. I know you were asking me motivation, like when you have a fitness goal, because you actually do things very differently than me.
Usually.
It's like this guy's crazy. He's actually the only person I've ever met in my life that's able to fully cold turkey something.
Oh yeah, I just like give up on like all the fun things, which is probably not ideal because that's no better than what they were doing in the show that we were watching, you know? Like because they were basically telling him like you can't have anything.
Yeah.
Which I'm not that extreme, but I give up basically everything. The only things I can never give up for some reason, the only things I can never
Ice
give up
cream.
no matter how hard I try is Taco Bell and ice cream. Those two things will stay with me even at like that's like literally the reason I can't get below like 10% is because like on my cheat days or my off days, which is how I'll do it, is I'll have a day to splurge. I'll just like go for the Taco Bell and the ice cream, and it's like not great. That's actually looking back one thing I would probably change if I can is like spacing out and being more healthy about that. So.
But you were really like at when we were living together and we were at our fittest, like he was pretty good. I think you were like as low as like 13% body fat.
Mine, yeah, I got down to 12.5 to 13 right in there.
Yeah.
We had like this machine that weighed in and you could like gauge it using the electronics, like one of those weights you stand on. And I got down to 12.5 to 13, and that's the lowest I've ever been right there.
Yeah.
I never had six pack because I don't do abs, even though I should. But I got lean arms, like lean body, all that good stuff. Super lean, like because my face is oval. Like I got like less of an ovular face and more of like a
cut,
an actual cut going. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's cool to get there. But looking back, I'm kind of like, damn, that was like kind of crazy to get there because I was not doing all the right things on the way there. So
it was what is your motivation? So mine is like a deadline, an event. Like what do you think is like your, because you are very interesting, because I was like talking with you about this, I remember at one point, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it was like something around the lines of like you just feel it.
Oh yeah, that's basically how it goes. Is I just am like, what I do is I kind of like let it like cook, you know, in my mind. I'm kind of like, okay, like around this time, I'm going to start on like working towards losing X amount of body fat percentage. That's usually how I'll do it, is I'll let it sit in my mind for a little bit because I kind of want to like think about it. Like, is that really what I want to do? Like, what is this working towards, etc. So I let it sit, and then like I just kind of wait, and then I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I feel good today. This is the day I'm going to do the thing that I said I was going to do. So then that's kind of how I approach it versus like where you have the end in mind, which is actually a really good thing. Like I remember in the 7 habits, that's actually one of them, is like start with an end goal in mind. Mine's more about like, I want to really understand like why I'm doing this, think about it, let it sit. Is this worth doing? Yes. Why? Like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
And then once I have it all like kind of synced in, locked in, then I kind of just wait for the right time. And the right time isn't like a date. It's more about just like, okay, I feel like right now is good because I don't have a lot going on. Maybe we're past the holidays and like now is like a good time because there's nothing blocking me from travel or all this. Because I do not like working out when I travel, period. Like even when I go travel like to London next month, I'm not going to work out at all probably.
Yeah,
just because I don't like working out in unfamiliar gyms and stuff. So that's usually how I do, is I kind of let it cook in my mind. And then I'm like, you know what? This is the moment right here. Today is the day. And then I just start doing it. So that's how I do it.
Actually, you know, on the note of the ice cream thing, I just thought about one of the stuff that happened in the show I just found so humiliating.
Wait, okay, was it the
Disgusting.
part where they put all the food out?
Dude, oh my fucking
and
god.
they like make them like look at it or go through or whatever?
This is actually a core memory of mine.
What?
And so I was always a big kid. I was actually very, very proud of myself when I first started losing weight. And getting to like a pretty good weight of where I was and being fit. But one thing that is a core memory of mine, because I've always like struggled with weight loss when I was younger, is they were talking about all the food stuff. I distinctly remember where I was watching The Biggest Loser with my family, and they had a moment where they just put a whole bunch of cupcakes out in front of these people, which by the way already fucked up. And then they didn't ask the contestants if they wanted a cupcake. They asked the fucking the trainers to pick one. And I was like,
it's super fun actually. Sorry, that is entertaining, I'm not gonna lie.
It is, but it was like looking at it and I was like, they're definitely playing this up so fucking
that's
much.
What I was thinking is I was like, I don't know, like if I was in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would feel like even like I would want that food, because I'm like, dude, you're just trying to bait me and I'm not gonna fall for your tricks. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, like I don't think I would cave at all. Like, do you think you would?
I wouldn't cave because it's like one of those things where it's like
it's just so cheesy. I don't know.
It's so cheesy. And it's
like
also
the stereotypical fat person, you know, is like, oh, food in front of me, I must eat.
Yeah.
Like,
and then another thing on top of that is that it goes against the very scientifically proven thing of the reward system, of the reward and cheat day system. Where like, yeah, you know what? You should have your cupcake or your vice, whatever that may be, right? Like your fried chicken, what have you, because you've been working out like crazy for 2 weeks, a month.
And you should be like,
you should
celebrating those achievements. Yeah.
Now, should you fucking binge and go crazy? I mean, if you're doing really, really strict and you're going like once a month, maybe. I know The Rock does that and it works out for him.
Yeah. He does his like pancakes or whatever.
Yeah. Like his crazy ass meal. Like for me personally, it's like, I have a 1 cheat meal a week, and that's fine. And I lost 10 pounds that way already, and I went down to 175 that way too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually how I do it too. Like I'll pick a day. Mine's like a day, not like a meal. I'll just do a whole day, and it'll be like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I can't go beyond that. Yeah. So.
What do you think if they just your trainer gave you put a giant fucking ice cream sundae in front of you?
If I was in that scenario, I think in that specific scenario, I wouldn't, because I'm like, oh, this is so cheesy. I think like I wouldn't even be motivated to eat the food because I knew like what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But if it was like a different scenario, like let's say like I had been going months and months and months, and they were like, you know what, you deserve a reward, and it was just them trying to give me a reward, I would fall for it. I would definitely be like, oh yeah, for sure, why not? Like
that's fine. It's okay.
I want quesadillas.
Dude, I think the most fucked up thing was that they would reward you points or some shit for eating that food.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end, like you have to balance that shit. Like that's so fucked.
I know, it's super messed up. It's super messed up. But yeah, I don't think I would fall for it. I think it's kind of cheesy. But that's just me. It's like stereotypical Hollywood kind of moves, so I'm not into it,
dude.
So what do you think like a show like this says about like American health as it stands today? Because this show was made like 25 plus years ago.
It's been a minute.
It ended in like 2014, I think, is what I read. So it was going on for a really long time.
I didn't realize it was going for that long.
It went on for a while. So so it really ended like 10 years ago, which is not that long ago.
Yeah.
But I think they canceled because of ratings and all this stuff. But what do you think that show says about like American society in terms of how we perceive health and people, and also how we perceive like food and balancing diets, things of that nature?
I think it shows how much people care about that, but it also is such a relatable problem for people. Because, you know, at the end of the show, I'm not sure if you stayed to like watch the end credit things. Like it said that when the show started, it had a survey of 35% of Americans were considered obese.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then now, when this documentary aired, it's 45 to 50%.
Yeah, it said 47, I think. Is what it was.
Something like that. But
it's crazy.
And I think that tells you all you really need to know. Like that is the reality of the situation. And obesity is a problem in America, and you can claim however many factors that may be. What might be the problem with that? Is it our innate food? Is it which could be true? Is it how we size things, the size of our plates? I mean, you started going traveling, like, and when you were in Spain and when I was in Asia, like the portions aren't that big, or if they're that big, they're shared with other people.
Yeah, usually. I mean, because I visit like really big cities, so like I was in Barcelona, so I don't think the portions were crazy. I haven't actually had that experience yet because
Mhm.
I'm only visiting big places, like big name cities, and usually those places have larger portion sizes.
Mhm.
But I know like once you start getting out and you go to like the countrysides and stuff like that, or even Asian countries, like it's very small. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just that I think that what it tells us is that Americans care a lot about this is a topic of care, but they don't know what to do. That's
yeah,
like and it shows you the psychology of people, how much they care about this and think like um that how much of their lives would be affected by their weight, and it's a really sad thing, in my opinion. It's a really really sad thing that your weight, no matter how like we're gonna take away the health aspect of this, right?
yeah.
That your physical weight of your image affects how you see the world, how you see things, how people see you.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I could relate with that. I've definitely gone through the like problems of how I see myself and how I like in both in good ways and bad.
Yep.
And like especially when I was growing up, I was always a big kid, like especially bad. You know what's okay? This is actually a funny note.
What's up?
This is you know what? This is actually gonna. I wanted to bring this up. I should bring this up as a
Oh
question to you.
God.
You know what's the? You know what was my number one of the biggest fucking motivators
What's up?
ever for me to like work out?
It better. Okay.
It was
what
one
is
of
it?
the, it
What
was
is it?
this was a this really happened to me.
What's happening?
Is that
Huh.
we were out we're out at a out in
Like
like
me
in
and you?
college. Yeah, it was just like it was at a group.
Okay.
It was a group thing, and a girl looked at me, checked me out, and because I was talking with her, and this was when I was like not like my biggest, but I was like about there. I was like pretty high.
Yep.
And I swear to God, this girl said, "You know what? Guys can be thick too." And
No.
I went to the gym that night. I went. That was the most
Hey,
offensive thing I've ever heard in my life. That was a bitch slap.
Damn, that's actually kind of crazy because you didn't even know her that well, did you? Or did you know her?
No, I did know her. We were.
Oh, you did.
We
Okay,
were,
I
like,
thought
it was a
if
flirt.
she just that would be savage if you didn't know her and she just said some shit like that.
No,
to you?
it was in a flirty way too, but it was like the most demoralizing, weird feeling thing. Cause she said that in like
Jesus.
a attractive way, but I was like that was the most demoralizing thing
that
ever.
isn't what you want to hear.
And then like
Yeah.
I think it's always the worst when it's someone who is trying to like be nice to justify that you're bigger.
Yeah,
That was-
is kind of weird. I
'cause,
don't know. I would feel weird about that.
Because
That would be-
one guy told me, we actually know this guy, but
Okay.
he didn't mean anything bad, so I never took it the bad way. But he said like, it's like, hey man, you're a fucking great chef, and you're a great cook. Like, it'd be kind of weird if you were fit.
Whoa.
Like you should
Wait,
be a little bigger.
Does this person's name start with the letter A?
No,
Okay. All right. Sorry.
no,
I thought it was.
it's not a
somebody.
close friend of ours.
I thought it was somebody that's close with us, and I was about to be like, damn, that.
No,
person's
no, no.
But
So
yeah. Anyways,
That's
sorry.
but it's like shit like that. I think the girl one was just so funny to me now.
That one is crazy. I mean, at least she was attracted to you, so that's
yeah,
kinda
but it
small
was like
down.
I was like, oh my god,
Damn,
like
that is crazy.
That night I went and worked out.
I feel like so on that same note of like perception, how the world perceives you, this is the biggest I've been in a while, which like is fine, because I'm cooking right now. I'm in the cooking stages right now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But like I noticed the biggest perception of that when I was like kind of my normal weight, normal like average size down to like my really shredded 12 and a half, like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I noticed the biggest difference of how I perceive the world and how the world perceives me from when I was like maybe average build to like super shredded. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
started noticing like these positive repercussions due to the fact that I was like skinnier and all this stuff.
Mhm.
But it was almost like looking back, I'm kind of like, that's kind of, people can't help these things because it's in our human nature, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, damn, that is kind of fucked because I feel like, you know, like it's just a different world that
Yeah.
you're kind of like living through. Not like it's like, oh, magical experience. Like every human being's the same no matter what. It doesn't matter what you weigh. But there were definitely moments where it'd be like people would hold doors more often for me or something like that. Or
Yeah,
like
talk
people
to
would like
you and-
come up and talk to you just as a genuine conversation, not in a flirtatious way. Just like
Yeah.
they'd want to talk to you more often and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And not that I have a problem with that now because I really don't want people talking. I did even back then. I didn't want random people
Yeah.
talking to me. I was like, no, just leave me alone. So maybe it's better like this, but it would happen and you would just kind of deal with it or whatever.
You know, it's a
So,
wild thing is that one thing that my dad told me, because he was a car salesman. He was a car management here in America back in the 90s and 2000s. And it was like, he was the one Asian guy in this room full of older white guys in the board. And this was his number one piece of advice. And he meant this genuinely and not in a judging my weight, judging my size.
like it wasn't to you specifically, or
it was me
to...
because I told him I'm gonna go to business school. I'm gonna go to business.
Oh, business. I see.
And he said to me, and I will never forget this because the more I look through life, the more I know that this isn't wrong. Is that he told me I got the most fit I got when I was in that board, and I got a nice suit. I looked amazing in a suit. He said that the reason why I did that is because if you're the one person in the room that looks different than anyone else, you better look fucking good.
Oh, damn.
You better look fucking good. You better be the pretty boy. You better be handsome as shit, or someone doesn't listen to you.
Yeah, that's actually such good advice, actually.
And
especially in business.
That was his warning to me to lose weight.
Damn.
And he didn't mean that because he actually objectively told me, he was like, if you told me you were gonna actually go into cooking or science or engineering, I wouldn't give a shit. But if you're going to business and you're gonna sell,
damn,
that matters. And it's like that stuck with me in my brain till this day.
Your dad's way of doing it was like different than my dad's, because I also have a dad story about that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not as straightforward. But
yeah,
finish your thought. Yeah, sorry.
No, that was mainly it. It was just like that internally, for better or worse, has always been in my brain. And like I see it, you know, we've both in business for a while. We both worked and work in corporate America. And I will say, like, when people see your face and it's like cut and you like, they listen to you. They listen to you better.
They want to. They have like more of a desire to, for some reason.
Yeah, like you like people, like not just like women like see you in a more attractive way, but weirdly enough, they'll trust you more when you're talking to you.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, some people are going to disagree. You might even disagree with that, but I mean, even though we're saying this, it's not like it's some magical experience.
For sure.
It's literally just like the same exact life you're living when you have more weight. It's just like there's these small little things where you're like, why did that just happen? That's never happened to me before. That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's not like a good motivating factor to want to lose
sure.
weight, because it's really not that great, honestly. Like,
it's not that deep.
Yeah, it really isn't. But we're just calling it out because like in the show and stuff like that, they even mentioned like how that's like affected their lives and how they do feel guilt about getting this weight back, and how things were different when they show them on the game shows and all this too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like really the reason why we're talking about it. But I that's when I noticed like the biggest shift in my mind of like worldview and how the world perceives you is like tiny little things like that. And it's like, oh, maybe there is like a cultural significance to weight loss, and maybe there is a reason why people say that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But really at the end of the day, I mean,
it's just about attractiveness, man.
It's just attractiveness and like that level of it. Yeah. And it's like not even actively thinking about it. Like people just passively think about these things too.
Yeah. So. Like you were mentioning your dad has a
movie. Yeah, I was going to share my dad's story with you because it wasn't the same as yours. Yours I think is more impactful actually, because I actually resonated with that a lot, especially in business. It's like, and the fact that you mentioned like your dad's, I'm assuming Asian. I mean, I've seen your dad before. For people that don't know, you can assume his dad is Asian.
Yeah.
And he's saying he's in a board full of like white guys and stuff like that.
Older white
Like
guys. He was
they're-
also the youngest person in the room too.
and
so.
youngest, that's scary too. So it's like, of course, like that's gonna resonate a lot, I think. But
Yeah.
I think my dad's was less. It was more subtle, less like straightforward, and less at me. It was actually more about somebody else. But
Yeah.
and it was a non-judgeful way. It wasn't a judgeful way, but a positive way. It was actually like I was helping him at a job site one time because he used to own his own business, and he'd go to people's houses and like clean them and do all this stuff. And we were taking a break, and it was early in the morning, like 6 a.m. because he had to get to these houses at 5 a.m. to start his days, because they'd not be there or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were taking a break at like 6 a.m. and the sun's barely rising, and we see like this attractive woman running down like the street that we're like in his car, like, and we're just see her pass by. And my dad's approach was like, when you're older, because I was 16 at the time, he was like, when you're older, like you should get somebody like that. And he meant he meant it in like a way of like somebody who's motivated, like who gets up in the morning and works out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then like as I got older, you know, I carry that with me, and I'm like, oh, I should get somebody who like wants to work out and who's fit and healthy. But then like it didn't even click in my mind that in order to, you know, end up with somebody like that, if that's really what you want, you kind of have to be that person too.
Oh yeah.
Because that person is also looking for somebody that's going to be healthy and fit, most likely. Not always, but
there's
that kind of like is how my worldview was shaped by my dad.
sure.
So
Dude, actually, we should do another podcast because we did this with we did an old relationship podcast, which was actually one of my favorite episodes we ever did.
dude, that one with Khalid was fire.
Yeah, it was with Khalid.
We
You
should
can still check that
re-upload
out.
that one.
But we definitely should do another podcast where we have where we talk about relationship and what we learned about and advice, and like because that's not because what your dad is saying, I fully agree with. Like, look, if you want it's unfair if you are someone who is objectively unmotivated, don't really make that much money as a job, and don't do certain things, and you don't have the passion or fire to go and do certain things or go and reach your goals, it's unfair of you to want that from someone else in your life. And that's just the facts. Like if you want someone like that who's motivated, who's quote fit, who's beautiful, who's does all these attractive things,
or
both
just has
in
good habits,
good interests, like they want to do all these stuff. You got to live that life too, man. Like you can't, like, first of all, go fucking shower. Like that's the bare minimum.
Step one.
Shower, shave, care about your health and how.
And we know the type of people watching our content. You guys need to take a bath. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, no, I think we should do that as a follow-up podcast, like another time.
That could be fun.
That could be fun. But I think on the final note, we got about 10 minutes left. I want to bring a question to you because it occurred to my brain as we were talking about this Biggest Loser thing. Is that this is a little old now. This is about probably 3 to 5 years old. But the conversation between the difference between body positivity and like larger people, and like what does body positivity mean? How does that affect maybe even America as a health? What do you think? Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? Like how do you view that?
Are you talking about body positivity in a sense of like models who are oversized and stuff like that, and like body positivity towards people who are bigger? Is it like that kind of conversation?
Sure, yeah, because that's where the main conversation lied. Where
oh man, this is actually going to trigger some people. I know some people are like low key trying to be like, oh yeah, body positivity is good, but then on the internet they're saying like they fucking hate fat people and all this shit.
Yeah.
I know there are people like that exist, and there's not a small amount of those people.
Yeah.
So am I? Okay, so I guess.
Well, what's your thoughts about like your thoughts?
Yeah. I won't say
body positivity movement.
The movement of it. Well, I don't think it's bad. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say it's a negative thing. Do I think it's a positive thing? I think it has positive aspects for sure. Because I think the idea too is like people who are like fit or maybe like average even at best, who have gotten there through fitness, their argument is like, well, anyone can do it if I can do it, which is not true. Just because you can do it doesn't mean anyone else can do it. That's not true all the time. So, I mean, you like have examples of people who might have certain disabilities, or you might have examples of people who literally are like depressed or have
Or
anxiety or
at the
something
very
like
least, it's
that.
not as easy as you.
It's not, it is achievable and easy. And I think it's really selfish. And actually, I think it's narcissistic to say that just because I did it means that you can do it too.
Mhm.
Like, I think that's narcissistic as shit, because I'm like, well, you're only thinking about yourself. You're not even considering the other person and the way
Yeah,
they
yeah,
might
yeah.
feel or go towards it. So overall, I'm pro. I like actually like it, more or less. I'm not totally like slam dunk all in on
Yeah.
everything, because there are some instances, in my opinion, from what I've seen, where it gets taken out of context a little bit too far.
Mhm.
But I also, it's hard for me to judge because I'm not the person that they're trying to target with this, unless I'm wrong, unless they are trying to just let everybody
Yeah.
like kind of consume this and be like, hey, you maybe you should be more positive towards like people who are bigger. But overall, I don't think I'm in that target market personally. But
Mhm.
overall, I think like it doesn't affect me in a negative way, so it doesn't bother me. And I definitely don't think it's a negative thing. Like,
Yeah.
I think if that's like the same argument of like, well, I don't even want to get into that because it's starting to get political. But if it doesn't affect me, why should I be like so negative about it? Like, I feel like if anything, there's probably people in my life personally that maybe I haven't thought of until right now that are affected positively by it.
Yeah.
So I should be supportive of it. So overall, I think it's like a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's just my thoughts. But what do you think?
I think I agree with you. I do think body positivity, I feel like, comes out of, I think in general, what it really means is a mentality. Like, are you happy with your body? Are you happy with who you are? Are you happy with what you're doing? And if you're happy with who you are, that's great. I'm happy for you. But that also takes out of context the aspect of health at times. Like, you could be perfectly happy with your body, but and that would be great. That's awesome for you. I'm really happy for you for that. But objectively, from a scientific standpoint of being like, let's say like a doctor, if the doctor tells you like, hey man, like if you're let's say you're obese, you're pretty bigger, and then the doctor's like, hey man, like this is affecting your health. I think that's the consistent difference. You could still be positive about your body and who you are and stuff like, but you have to take that into consideration, because ultimately that can also affect your life in a physical sense versus a mental sense, which obviously intermingles as well. But I just think that, like, look, for me, I'm not in my healthiest state, but I also understand that, and I'm pretty happy with who I am, and I can move forward with that and just keep going with that. And that mentality is fine. But I also know that the reason why I say body positivity is a mindset is that there is very fit people, objectively fit people, objectively skinny people, objectively average sized people who aren't happy with their bodies, no matter how much they do.
I mean, that's true too. There are definitely like really skinny people who are like unhappy about that. And
No
it's hard
matter
for them
what
to
they
gain
do.
weight and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
they could be the healthiest person in the world, but no matter what they do, they're not happy with that. So I think it's a mentality. But I think there's an objectivality. Is that a word?
an objectivality, I guess.
Yeah, it's objectivality.
We're gonna make it a word.
I think there's an
objectivality of.
There's an objective aspect of like your general health, and I think there's a really good example I remember because it was a very big deal. I forgot it was Megan Thee Stallion or someone, one of the
Is it Lizzo?
Lizzo,
Yeah.
who lost a bunch of weight,
Uh-huh.
and she's healthier, and she's like dancing around. She's like talking about how much that journey has helped her.
Uh-huh.
And then people who were pro body positivity were just slamming her for fat shaming.
But being happy with where you're at is body positivity.
Exactly.
In the big grand scheme of things.
And I think that's where it gets dangerous, is that people sometimes use it as an excuse.
I see.
For not worrying about their health, because they're like, well, I'm just body positive.
And the people that would watch this would probably say, "Oh, that's not me," when it might actually be.
That's the thing.
Because it's hard to be that person that's like, "Oh, like I am that problem that people are saying," or not problem, but I am falling into that bucket.
I think like a lot of people struggle with that, and it's okay that you struggle with that. Like, look, when I was at my healthiest, I think to a certain extent, it took me a little bit of time to realize to like look in the mirror because even when I was at 180 pounds at like really healthy body fat percentage, I was like under 18% body fat. I was still looking in the mirror and be like, oh no, I still got to work on my arms. I got to work on things. There's always going to be something when you look at the mirror that you feel like you got to work on.
Yeah.
But it's the accepting that and being able to move on in the sense of like caring about your health and your future versus hyper focusing on those things.
You know what these conversations kind of, I know we have to like wrap up, but one of these conversations remind me of is, you know, when people say like money doesn't make you happy. And then there's these studies that say like, once you hit a certain number of money, it's like any more you get doesn't make you happier and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of think about that sometimes for fitness, and like you can get only so shredded, and then it's like, okay, well, if I get any more shred, that's not going to make me more satisfied or anything. Like maybe for like a day or a week, but then after that, that feeling's going to go away.
I think that's a really good message to leave on, because like at the end of the day, right? Like the people that you see on movies, on fucking bodybuilders and stuff, like they are able to do that because they dedicated their lives to it. Right. Like they're like fucking Chris Pratt, any of the Chris's, any of them, like they're paid millions of dollars and spend 6 months to a year when they're already pretty fit, mind you, to get that shredded.
Yeah. I mean, they get paid to do it too, which is crazy.
Yeah. And that's all they do for a year to prepare for that role. Now, assuming that you're not one of those people, probably working a full-time job, probably have family, probably have like rent to worry about, money and stuff like that. Like that's not going to be a priority. Right. Now, that isn't to say you can't live a healthy life, but to compare yourself to those people getting a six-pack jacked and all that stuff and may or may not be using steroids, it's not realistic.
Yeah, I agree with you. So
yeah, be realistic.
It's called SMART goals, right?
SMART goals.
SMART goals is realistic, and then T is timely.
Yeah,
so timeline.
Yeah. Also, that Biggest Loser thing. Like, I'm so glad that's not a show anymore.
Oh yeah, me too. I think it's like hilarious though that we talked about it, and then 6 months later, there's a documentary.
There's a documentary about it. Oh my god!
We literally had zero
idea. No idea.
We predicted that shit, but anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Netflix show from that Biggest Loser like reaction.
Fit for TV.
Fit for TV, Biggest Loser reaction. Did you like? I don't know. How did you receive that message? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
Did you like the Biggest Loser when it was out?
Oh yeah, I mean, some people probably are old enough. They'll probably remember. So yeah, let us know what your general thoughts are on that. Drop a comment, and as always, hit subscribe. Helps out a lot. Takes a lot to put these videos together, so we'd really appreciate it. But
yeah, let us know if you want to see that relationship podcast.
Low key, Jordan just wants you to say we want it so that we could do it.
Yeah, peace.
I kind of want it too. That'd be fun.